man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now. Just flood it, put out a lot of music because 50 Cent is coming.
Please don't.
I'm just gonna say, if you represent prison reform, how did you sign to a correctional officer and you managed by a snitch?
Bought more jewelry, more Louis V. My mama couldn't get through to me.
Yeah, we all know 50 Cent and JayZ have always had a long-standing rivalry. What you don't know is that it appears 50 is now pulling back the curtain on something truly shocking about JayZ.
So Puffy told, but JayZ, I didn't know about that. So JayZ, he told too?
Said that years ago, man. Said that years ago. What are you gonna do? They're the reason why rap in New York went down the drain. They made sure that these young cats didn't come up with platforms and didn't come up with situations.
In 2020, 50 Cent appeared on Lil Wayne's Young Money Radio for a wide-ranging chat in which he went off on a tangent discussing everything that occurred to mind. During a discussion about moral support, the power creator managed to poke fun at longtime rival Rick Ross while also throwing a veiled insult at JayZ. I stay away from silly S because if you say to me, I'm not gonna say who I'm talking about, right? If you represent prison reform, how did you sign to a correctional officer and you managed by a snitch? Help me with this, man.
What about top three? JayZ, Kendrick, Nas, top three. Is that about right or not?
No. They're still good artists, but not of all time, no.
Who should be number one?
The snitch in question is Roc Nation's current CEO, Desiree Perez, who was a DEA agent and was arrested in 1994 for possessing 35 kilograms of, according to the New York Daily News. The report also claims that Perez helped the DEA break up deals in Puerto Rico and Colombia by wearing a wire to record her meetings with Major T. JayZ promoted Perez, Roc Nation's co-founder, to CEO in 2019 after working as the label's chief operational officer since 2009. When JayZ struck a contract with Live Nation to form Roc Nation in 2008, he immediately asked Perez and her husband to join him. Perez considered this as a positive professional move, just like when she initially started in the music industry in the early 1990s. She noticed that running the 40/40 Club became more physically demanding as she grew older, and she considered the move to Roc Nation as a good thing. Donald Trump revealed his long list of last-minute pardons and commutations in 2021, and several names in the entertainment world were mentioned as likely candidates, some accurate. Rappers Lil Wayne and Kodak Black, Death Row Records co-founder Michael Harry O. Harris, some inaccurate, Joe Exotic, and some whose music background is less known, longtime Rudy Giuliani and Jared Kushner associate Ken Kurson, who played in indie rock bands in the late 1980s. Few anticipated to see Desiree Perez's name beside her husband, Roc Nation sports chief Juan Perez, who has been a longtime and trusted acquaintance of the rapper. President Trump granted a full pardon to Desiree Perez. The relevant section of the statement from the press secretary regarding executive grants of clemency reads, Ms. Perez was involved in a conspiracy to distribute narcotics. Since her conviction, Ms. Perez has taken full accountability for her actions and has turned her life around. She has been gainfully employed and has been an advocate for criminal justice reform in her community. Gainfully employed is almost a comic understatement for the successful CEO of a billionaire's multifaceted, multi-million-dollar entertainment and sports company that oversees the careers of artists including Rihanna, Mariah Carey, Alicia Keys, Shakira, J. Cole, Big Sean, Megan Thee Stallion, and many others, along with multiple successful athletes, and programs the Super Bowl halftime show and other aspects of the NFL's entertainment. It's no coincidence that last year, and Perez's previous misdeeds are among the less notorious on Trump's extensive list of executive pardons and commutations. Following her 1994 arrest for conspiracy with intent to distribute narcotics, Perez cooperated with the U.S. Attorney's Office and was sentenced to 5 years probation. Among other things, she was charged with parole violation and served 9 months in prison in 1999. I'm grateful to have received a pardon and to have formally closed that chapter of my life in the eyes of the law, Perez said. I have taken full accountability for my mistakes from 25 years ago, but I also take tremendous pride in my personal growth, perseverance, and accomplishments since then. This pardon reinforces my lifelong commitment to advocate for criminal justice reform and social justice initiatives. I feel good, but a little numb, she told the New York Times separately, noting that she had asked for the pardon only 2 days before it arrived. I haven't forgiven myself, and I'm not sure I ever will. Perez also curiously denied Variety's request for an interview. But how did this pardon come about? Insiders suggested that Van Jones, a lawyer, author, and CNN correspondent represented by Roc Nation, may have assisted in navigating the rough waters of the Trump administration, but a source close to the issue disputed Jones's involvement. It's an easy assumption to make. While Jones is no favorite of the former president, he has worked closely with the administration on numerous occasions and is thought to be close to Trump's advisor and son-in-law Jared Kushner. He also collaborated with Kim Kardashian to secure the release of Alice Marie Johnson, who was serving a life sentence for a non-violent narcotics conviction. After meeting with Kardashian in September 2018, Trump commuted Johnson's sentence, and she was released after 21 years in jail. Jones and members of #50, the criminal justice reform movement he founded in 2015, met with then-President Trump and Kushner, whose father served 14 months in jail for tax evasion and unlawful campaign contributions, to propose a criminal justice reform measure. Later that year, Kardashian, who aspires to be a lawyer, joined the #50 campaign. The First Step Act, a criminal justice reform package that the New York Times described as bringing the most substantial changes in a generation to sentencing regulations, was passed in 2018. Roc Nation refused Variety's demands for additional information and an interview with Jones. Perez's pardon surprised many and raised some questions about the Roc Nation roster, including whether efforts to gain presidential favors explained why so few Roc Nation artists campaigned for the Democratic ticket in both the presidential race and Georgia, where 2 Senate seats were fiercely contested. While Alicia Keys and Megan Thee Stallion expressed their support on social media and through other groups, their efforts paled in comparison to Beyonce and JayZ's appearances in favor of the Obama-Biden ticket. While the number of voters swayed by celebrity endorsements may not appear to be significant, in a race that both sides knew would be decided by razor-thin margins in many districts and states, Republicans knew that every vote they could keep out of the other side's camp was critical. A person close to the situation stated that Roc Nation does not impose itself on its musicians' political participation. However, a person acquainted with Perez and the prior administration does not blame Roc Nation for playing things cautious. As anyone who's worked with the Trump White House knows, you can't piss him off or he will take revenge. Why is a pardon necessary for Perez, who has already risen up the ranks in the business? Insiders say the executive, who was moved from COO to CEO of Roc Nation in December 2019, has global ambitions, as does the company, which wants to expand into areas such as cannabis. JayZ recently launched a brand called Monogram, and spirits. As a convicted felon, there are certain things you can't do, like run a public company, the person said. That may have been holding Roc Nation back. Curiously enough now, JayZ never ever speaks out against Donald Trump. Many see this as a confirmation of the theory that he may actually be in cahoots with law enforcement agencies. When it comes to business, both 50 Cent and JayZ are exceptional, and not only in the hip-hop industry. Their connection as rappers has recently come under criticism, though, despite their enormous popularity. Although they have both made significant contributions to the music industry as renowned New York moguls, their collaboration on a single remix was their only accomplishment. They only dabbled in high-level business together once, which is somewhat surprising. In cases like the gym incident and comments made during interviews, a subtle sense of rivalry between them has been apparent. Therefore, let's investigate the possible causes of the simmering animosity between these two heroes. 50 Cent's 1999 explosive debut was characterized by his daring single How to Rob, in which he openly attacked his contemporaries, notably JayZ. At Summer Jam, they seemed to be getting along at first. JayZ acknowledged 50's song and hinted at revenge, which transpired later that night. 50 responded to Jay's subtle criticism in 1999, taking it as a sign of respect from the game's dominant player. The nature of the or whether it was merely record-level banter, remains unknown, notwithstanding these conversations. On the other hand, JayZ saw 50 Cent's growing impact and urged everyone to compete better before 50 Cent took over. Like Jay, the entire crew was reminded of the imminent significance of 50 by Jay's longtime engineer, the youthful Guru. With the release of his breakthrough single In Da Club, 50 Cent marked a turning point in his career. Following this, 50 Cent and JayZ, who were rumored to be working together, set out on their Rock the Mic tour. On the other hand, JayZ was absent from the tour for an extended period of time, suggesting potential tensions behind the scenes. JayZ shocked everyone by announcing his retirement from solo music with the release of the Black Album, following 50 Cent's tremendous success. Even more so, he called the forthcoming tour his victory lap. In interviews, Jay discussed how he felt he had accomplished everything he could as a solo artist, detailing how he had become an expert at composing music and needed to push himself further. Coinciding with 50 Cent's rise to fame in New York and the rap scene generally, the timing appeared peculiar. Some have speculated that Jay may have felt the change in vibe while on their joint tour and decided it was time to hand the baton over. Whether it was deliberate timing or true exhaustion, Jay's choice to retire at that time was undeniably astute from a commercial perspective. Jay was able to concentrate on other projects after stepping away from the limelight, most notably his Roc Nation empire, which he used to foster the careers of artists like Kanye West. In the middle of all this change, there were some unforgettable moments, such as when 50 Cent unexpectedly crashed the stage during JayZ and Kanye's performance, which brought a little humor to their dynamic. There appeared to be tension, nevertheless, behind the scenes. 50 Cent said that Jay put too much stock in old-fashioned deals and not enough in loyalty when making business decisions. Also featured were Jay's cunning tactics for avoiding with other artists and other direct confrontations in the rap industry. Rock performers like Beanie Sigel were also a source of contention. 50 Cent said that Jay was caught between wanting to keep Sigel and actively supporting him. Given 50 Cent's rising star power in the Big Apple, some even went so far as to say he was on par with JayZ. Joe Budden's comments about 50's influence lend credence to this theory. It turned out that JayZ's retirement lasted around the same amount of time as 50 Cent's initial stint in the limelight. Around the same time that Lil Wayne was on the up-and-up and Kanye West was about to take over, JayZ made a triumphant return in 2006. When Jay came back into the spotlight, he began to question whether he still had what it required to be a top competitor. In the meanwhile, there was the much-publicized feud between Kanye and 50 Cent over who could dominate the charts. The whole thing was only a publicity stunt, not a real rivalry, despite all the acting. Another factor was JayZ's involvement as head of Def Jam. He had a personal stake in Kanye's success. It is possible that 50 Cent, maybe inspired by Jay's strategy, spotted a chance to subtly fade from the limelight as the music industry changed. He embraced his new job as a commercial tycoon and changed gears, all the while retaining his legendary status. Looking back on his career, 50 Cent said that being a brand ambassador wasn't his favorite part. He rather preferred running his own company. He went so far as to speculate on what may have happened if Tony Yayo or another G-Unit member had achieved more fame. One may argue that JayZ's partnership with Beyonce helped boost his musical profile, which ultimately resulted in his first #1 single, The Blueprint 3. 50 Cent may have stepped away from music for a while, but he was busy building an empire in television and business that few artists can match. Looking back on the effects of his and JayZ's music, 50 Cent discussed how it was received around the world. Even though he recognized JayZ's enormous success, he stressed how different their worldwide impact was. Although JayZ released a plethora of music in the ensuing decade, 50 Cent said that his peak performance was more influential in a shorter amount of time. Over the years, a slight tension remained between them. 50 Cent wasted no time criticizing JayZ's 2017 album 444 for what he saw as the listener's preference for more energetic songs over the album's more refined sound. 50 Cent recently insinuated that Eminem's persistence got him included in JayZ's Super Bowl performance, and he accused the rapper of impeding his performance. The conversation with Nori that led to this charge implied that JayZ had some say in the decision-making. I mean, if you take a look at JayZ's history, it's not that hard to see where all the speculation about him comes from. JayZ allegedly attacked music producer Lance Rivera during a record release party in 1999. For a long time, it was assumed that the feud was about UN's supposed leak of JayZ's album Vol. 3, The Life and Times of S. Carter. However, many believe the violence was motivated by JayZ's emotions for rapper Charlie Baltimore, the notorious Big's ex-girlfriend. In a recent interview with DJ Woo Kid, fellow rapper Cameron expressed support for the latter notion. "This was all over Charlie Baltimore," Cameron said. "I'm not going to get into the details of what happened and why Jay liked Charlie at one time. And Jay's situation. They can say a song leaked or whatever, but it was over Charlie Baltimore." According to sources, the Carters are simply a contract. not crazy in love. Business is always part of the equation. They know they're the king and queen of hip-hop, and really, all of music. Neither wants to lose that, an insider told Page Six. The relationship allegedly began as a romantic one, but only on Hov's end. According to Bey's uncle, Larry Beyonce, yep, Beyonce, he was after her and she wasn't interested. She told me she wasn't too fond of him, he told Page Six. I guess she wasn't attracted to him. A source told Page Six, Jay's a kingmaker. She recognized that. This was a come-up for her, no question. She had to learn the ropes as presented by Jay, but really this was mostly about business. The insider further stated that before getting married, they each had guilty pleasures with other people. There's no bigger controller than Jay. She's great, but she'd be a little lower on the totem pole if it weren't for hooking up with him, the insider said. They are solid business people who know what they're doing. As far as staying together despite a slew of scandals, the source explained, there's face saving involved. They don't want to be looked at like other celebrities out there. They are business people first, entertainers second, husband and wife come somewhere down the line. J. Randy Taraborelli, known for his unauthorized biography of Beyonce, suggests that Beyonce and Rihanna weren't always on friendly terms. Taraborelli alleges that Beyonce temporarily split from JayZ while investigating rumors of JayZ's involvement with Rihanna romantically. According to a source speaking to Page Six, the infamous elevator altercation between JayZ and Solange was not over an alleged affair with Rachel Roy, but rather because Solange suspected JayZ of wanting to party with Rihanna. Solange was like, "Enough is enough. You must be screwing Rihanna," the source recounted. To many people who know them, they know it's not out of the realm of possibility. However, Taraborelli himself is unsure about the accuracy of the Rihanna affair rumors. Beyonce didn't know what to make of this, and it actually ended up breaking them up for a time, Taraborelli explained to Entertainment Tonight. They spent maybe a year apart from each other because Beyonce just wasn't sure what to make of the situation with Rihanna. Taraborelli mentioned that many believed publicists spread the rumor about JayZ and Rihanna to generate interest in her debut single, Pon de Replay. The New York Daily News reported JayZ's only issue with the PR stunt gone awry was that Rihanna was a minor at the time. Sources also suggest that JayZ's marriage and his friendship with Kanye West might not be as genuine as they appear. Yes, the very same Kanye that regularly speaks out against the powers behind the scenes that JayZ is rumored to be in bed with. West publicly called out JayZ during his St. Pablo tour in October 2016, expressing frustration about their relationship. Jay can't stand him, a source revealed. Everyone knows that. Despite their collaboration on the album Watch the Throne, the source claimed that JayZ prefers his privacy and dislikes West's spotlight-seeking nature. Regarding JayZ's collaboration with R. Kelly on The Best of Both Worlds, released amidst Kelly's legal troubles, the partnership was really rocky. The Chicago Tribune reported a series of incidents during their tour, including Kelly, allegedly a lighting director, and abruptly leaving the stage. The tour was marred by cancellations and controversy, ultimately leading to legal battles between JayZ and Kelly. Guess where Kelly is now? That's right, he's in jail. JayZ claimed to have no prior knowledge of the attack on Kelly, according to the Chicago Tribune. JayZ's friend Tyron Ty Smith was arrested in connection with the incident. Despite the initial anticipation, the tour turned out to be far from the best of both worlds. It certainly is interesting that anyone who messes with JayZ seems to find themselves sidelined, isn't it? Do you think there's more to the story? Let us know in the comments. That's all for the video, folks. Thanks for watching.